Let's talk about making things easier. All right. So over the last couple of years, you've seen things happening in terms of how easy it is to order a cab, how easy it is to get food delivered. It started much earlier with how easy it is to get stuff that you want delivered somewhere, right? And several companies started coming up. So you have a parcel that you want to deliver somewhere, you knew where to go. There were those days of the poster, EMS, speed post, and all. But if you wanted something delivered from Mombasa Road office, Standard Group office, to to CT's office in another part of Nairobi, what would you do? Companies would then hire messengers. The guys just sitting there waiting for you to have enough to send around, and then they'll go. And then companies started emerging, and this now would start making things easier. One of them is Sendy. Sendy is a logistics company aimed at helping businesses and individuals move anything from point A to B at the touch of a button, simply and transparently. They understand that logistics is a fundamental part of ensuring that a business runs successfully, and they allow businesses to focus on their core business without thinking about deliveries and hence do more. This is what Sendy says about themselves. Now, I want to bring in the CEO of Sendy, Mesh Alois, to come and tell us more about what they do. Mesh, good morning.
Good morning, Brian.
Thank you very much for joining us in the Situation Room. You are in the room with Eric Latif and CT Muga.
Thank you for having me today.
Now, I've just given that brief introduction of Sendy from what you guys have been saying that you do. But tell us, with your own words, who is
Yeah,
Sendy? When was Sendy born? And who does Sendy send?
yeah. Good. So thank you. I mean, Sendy, we are a Kenyan company based out of Nairobi. So we are based here in Nairobi, operating across East Africa with offices here in Kenya, Uganda, and expanding into West Africa as well. What Sendy we offer is we offer businesses an app where they can push a button, and when they push that button, a vehicle comes or a motorcycle comes, picks up their goods, and takes it to their customer. That's easy. So as you had explained, like a couple of years ago, businesses weren't able to do that. You had to know someone, or you had to walk by the roadside to find someone who'd actually transport for you your goods from point A to point B, or you'd have to have your own vehicles or motorcycles to be able to do that. We launched in 2015 here in Nairobi, and since then we've grown across East Africa, and now also looking at West Africa.
Great. So, with all those things that you've been doing, just take us through the evolution, the different product offerings. What is it that you offer? What did you first set up? And then what made you introduce new products? Was it client driven, or was it you thinking innovatively and disruptively?
Yeah, I mean, it's a mix of both. I mean, we started with in 2015. I mean, back then, the likes of Uber weren't even in the country just yet. And so when we started the motorcycle. So we said this is going to be the easiest way for people to actually trust us. So we said we can push a button, and then a motorcycle will come, will pick up your goods and take it to your customer. After that, we saw a lot of businesses asking us, but I have bigger or basically larger cargo. So can you have a vehicle that can deliver that? Then we started adding vehicles onto the platform, pickups and vans. That was our second evolution. And this was driven by customer demand and the ease of use of how our customers interact with our platform. After that, the demand from customers kept on growing, so we added even bigger trucks onto the platform to help these businesses now move stuff even outside Kenya, from Nairobi to Uganda to Burundi to South Sudan, you name it. After that, I mean, most of these businesses, we also saw how inefficient they were actually operating to distribute their goods, and with the same principle of where you push a button and your goods get from point A to point B. We also added where for some of the retailers that work with these manufacturers that are our customers, you push a button, we send your order to multiple consumer good manufacturers or suppliers, and we aggregate the goods and bring it to you. So it's been majorly driven by customer demand. I mean, our focus here, we are obsessed about our customers, and we want to make sure that they have the best possible experience. So it's a mix of both. Innovating around our technologies, our platform, but at the same time, just driven by customer demand.
Well, thank you. It's an interesting introduction. This is, as far as businesses go, well, still a fairly new line of business. And as businesses go, your success will be the impetus that encourages other people to enter that same line of business. So,
Yeah.
the only way you stay ahead is through innovation. What are your plans, future plans to ensure that you stay on top of your game?
Yeah. I mean, two things actually, if I can put it really briefly. So two things. One is, of course, innovating, and I mean on the technology side, so just looking at solutions to help our customers deliver their goods to their customers in the most affordable and efficient way. Can you just push a button and something happens? No phone calls, no phone calls. So just making that as efficient as possible. The second thing is just our customer experience. Just making sure that our customers has the best possible experience to move their goods to their customers. If we do those two things, then the cost of moving those goods to their customers, or what they actually call distribution cost, becomes cheaper and cheaper. And when we do that, then we're gonna basically stay ahead of the curve while providing value to our customers. I want to mention that, and this is something that a question that I get a lot here. 100% of our product is built here in Kenya, and we have over 60 or so software engineers just sitting here in Nairobi building our product, and the talent that we have here. So I just want to mention that it's a competitive advantage for us. The talent that we have here in Kenya is just is world class, and just combining that with also how we innovate our customer experience, our teams, we're gonna get there and be ahead of the curve.
You know, when you say ahead of the curve, who would you say are your main competitors currently?
So our main competitors actually, and this is going to be quite strange. So our main competitors are businesses that we've not been able to reach them. That means they're still operating with the guy who's still sitting on the side of the road, who will do one or two deliveries a day, and that's inefficient, which is more expensive. So that's what we will call our competition, and our goal is to reach all those businesses, bring them onto our platform, and be able to get there. Now, another adjacent competitor is basically multinationals coming into the region, coming to the country, the region, and Africa as well. And for us, really knowing the terrain, building local solutions for local problems for our businesses that we've worked with over the years. So that's what I mean by us actually being ahead of those curves.
Focus on delivery. Are there specific products that you find at the center of your focus? For instance, do you only deal in industrial goods? Do you deal in parcels from one part of the country to the other? Do you deal in horticultural products? What is the array, the list of things that you actually deal in?
Yeah. So we deal in three industries or three segments, what we call at Sendy. So the first one is consumer goods. So anything that you eat, your household items, your food items, anything that you actually use in your house, be it food or just household items. So consumer goods. That's the first segment. Be it tissue, be it your sugar, be it your rice, be it your consumer goods products. The second bit is agriculture. So this is another key segment for us. So agriculture, so again, anything that gets from your fertilizers, so farm inputs, farm outputs as well, the farm produce as well. So that's our second segment. And then our last segment is e-commerce companies. I mean, we see e-commerce over the last couple of years. E-commerce has been growing quite rapidly. So e-commerce companies helping them reach their customers as well, deliver to their customers. Those are the key three segments that we actually see forming a large portion of what we do here at Sendy. But we also have adjacent industries like construction that we actually see moving goods onto our platform as well. So those are the items or categories that currently we see we focus on. But also we say here at Sendy that we deliver anything, anywhere. But those are the three segments that we focus on today.
Is there a specific reason why you focus on only these?
Yes, so we focus on those because those are the areas where we see, I mean, for us here, our mission is to make it easy for businesses to trade. Those three segments, if you look at Kenya, if you look at East Africa, and also the continent as a whole, those three segments are going to form part of our high growth. I mean, if you look at the economies in Africa, 6 of the top 10 most growing countries are in Africa. And if you look at the industries that are driving that growth, those three. So you have consumer goods, you have agriculture, and then you have e-commerce. And of course, the technology company, technology is part of that. And we're using technology to really power that and grow that.
What happens with a customer who isn't technologically savvy or doesn't have the benefit of having technology easy to access? How does such a person get to you, and how do they access your services?
Yeah. So for people who are not able to, I mean, to your words, not tech savvy, what we do is we have drop-off centers. So if you crisscross down, you'll find that Sendy has drop-off centers where you can actually visit there. You'll find one of our staff there, and they'll be able to onboard this customer and just ensure that they get their goods to the customer. And we are rapidly expanding that offering to make sure that we can actually reach all these. Sendy can reach all these customers.
One of the things that I think most Kenyans enjoy doing is being able to be assured that if they send a parcel or a letter to a loved one in some part of the country, it will get there. It is for that reason that some of the companies that essentially are security companies in the country, one of the business they do is they offer such services. We call it parcel delivery, but it is letter delivery. Now, what are the security assurances that your company would give a customer who wants their goods to be sent by you to whoever it is who is the recipient?
Yeah. So what we do actually, it's two parts, and I mean Sendy does this in two parts. The first part, and we give the same kind of security or kind of just assurance to both a customer who is sending a letter and also a customer who is sending a full truckload of items to Mombasa, for example. And how we do that is two parts. One part is you're able to track this particular delivery 24/7. So if you're taking something for you from here to Mombasa, you're able to see that in real time. Sendy sends you notifications on where your goods are, where your parcel are at any one given time. So that's the first piece. The second piece, we add on insurance on top of that. So we have insurance on top of that. If anything goes wrong, we just make sure that Sendy ensures that's sorted out. And coupled with that, all the partners, I mean, we, just as you mentioned, the way we make it easy is we work with third parties. So we work with truck drivers, motorcycle riders, fleet owners as well, who are on our platform and uses our technology. We vet these third-party partners before we bring them onto the platform, from their certificate of good conduct, the company status, to the directors, or to the people who actually own those fleets or those vehicles or motorcycles before we bring them onto the platform. And actually, I would actually say using technology, we are much from a security perspective and just the transparency aspect of it. We are much better compared to those folks that you actually mentioned.
The other aspect of security would be matters of national security. So where obviously you know that there's a great risk of companies such as yours being used by people who would have other intentions to transfer things or goods from one part of the country to another. For example, looking at contraband, maybe financing terrorists and just moving cash through your system, or poachers using your system to transfer. So how do you deal with that in terms of security?
Yeah. So that also is in multi-part. And what Sendy does is quite actually brilliant, quite brilliant to actually even help nationally, just help the agencies in curbing that. So we actually have a digital trace of everything that happens. So the first digital trace we have is of the person that is actually sending that item. So before you are able to send an item on our platform, you need to register. We have your phone number, we verify your phone number. You're likely going to pay us with M-Pesa. We also verify that. So at that point, we've done that. We've done that verification as an individual. As a business, we also verify that business using a third-party verification partner. So we've verified at that point. The second piece is we allow our drivers or our partners to inspect what they're carrying. So that's part of our terms and conditions. And we've clearly articulated on our terms and conditions on what you can actually transport on our platform. So our partners will verify what is this that are basically carrying. They will also take photos of that. I mean, when they actually feel this is suspicious, they'll take photos of that. They will actually raise that with our teams. On partners app, we also have a panic button or an SOS where they can actually press, and security personnel will actually get there. So we work with a partner called Rescue. Rescue who would actually send out rescue to help them with that situation. And lastly, what we do as well is our partners have licenses. So this is not Sendy, but our partners have licenses with communications authority. So we also look at those guidelines and provide them the data that they actually need. And as a matter of fact, that data is very essential for them to curb such cases.
So you're regulated by the communications authority.
So our partners are regulated by the communications authority. So what happens, what Sendy does is, I mean, our partners who are actually the delivery people who actually do the day-to-day delivery from point A to point B have a license with the communications authority, and we help them facilitate that. We also help them get the data that is needed to be sent to communications authority. So yes, in that respect, we are regulated by the communications authority.
Okay. So
and our relationship with the Communication Authority has been very, very collaborative in the last couple of years since we started in 2015.
So Sendy is the platform, and then you have the partners who are doing the actual logistics, and those are the ones that are regulated.
Correct.
And the platform itself, does it fall under any form of regulation?
So this is more or less like a platform, a marketplace where all the sellers and the buyers come in and be able to get the services done. What we ensure as Sendy, which is our responsibility, we ensure that on the delivery people aspect, that they have the necessary regulation to be able to get there, and on the partner side, on the customer side also. They've actually gone through or passed through the regulation that is actually needed to be able to do that. And we work closely with the regulator, because then what we do at Sendy is regulated by proxy, of course, through our partners, and we ensure that that's always on the clear with the regulators, and we have constant communication and collaboration with the regulators.
How are you navigating these COVID-infested waters that we now find ourselves in, and how has it affected your business?
Yeah, I would first say most of our customers or businesses have been hardly hit. The lockdown make it even worse. And what we've been able to do here at Sendy, we see the effect it's having on small businesses that we work with. We see the volumes are declining. But what we do here at Sendy, we said we're going to keep the economy moving. We're going to make sure that we have the vehicles out there that are still delivering goods to consumers. By end of the day, people have to eat. You have to have your household items. Farm produce have to be brought to the cities, or to farm inputs have to be taken to the farms. At the same time, people who are at home, the e-commerce products that they buy, wherever platform you buy on, most likely it's being delivered by Sendy in the background. So just making sure that for us, we are able to keep the economy moving. By making sure that our services are still flowing smoothly as water, just to make sure these goods get to where they need to be to keep our economy moving. As a company, the effect it has had on us is we've had to work from home. So most of us today are actually Sendy are working from home. So we are working remotely. Of course, that comes with its own challenges as well. Over the years, we've always wanted to, as most industry as well, I've always wanted to work from home, most on the service industry or technology space like ours. But then you miss that touch with people, just being close, having conversations. and that's a challenge, but we are navigating.
I want to thank you very much, Alois, for speaking to us. Mesh Alois is the CEO of Sendy, and well, you guys have revolutionized and disrupted this industry, but also it's for the good and making things much easier, bringing in the convenience that is required with technology, and then making it easier for us to move goods from point A to point B, as you said. Thank you very much for speaking to us this morning.
Thank you very much for having me. I mean, we look forward to keep the economy moving as a business here in Kenya. And our focus is just for this business, you push a button and we take your goods from point A to point B. So thank you for having me.
Asante sana. Time for us to take a break on KTN Home, on Spice FM and online. 27 minutes after 7 o'clock. This is Kenya's biggest conversation.